I was thinking about this and not suggesting you guys should run your business like I started out running mine, but there is something to be said. And I'll say this to all the on timers because you will relate to this. There is something to be said for just being willing to go out and get it done. And it occurred to me because from nowhere, one person who had bought a house from me years ago, and another person who had was a cousin of someone who bought a house from us years ago, had both reached out. One has $40,000 down on a non-refundable option deposit, and one has 20,000 down. And it just reminded me back as those came in, and they're looking for a house. And I'll talk more about how we can do reverse deals in coming days. And I want to share that with you because some of you in the beginning stages, that's going to serve you really well. But it just reminded me when one of the guys that called me, his name was Charles, and Mr. Charlie had received a settlement. He didn't have a car. And I just remember like hearing he had $32,000 from the settlement, and I had a wholesale deal. So I hopped in my car. I trucked my behind over to Evansville, Indiana. I went to the motel Charlie was living in. I picked Charlie and his girlfriend up, and I took them to this house, and I showed them through the house. And all of these things that I did, I took them to two or three houses, and it just took me back to the fact that I would do whatever it took to go out and get it done. And it may not be getting people in your car and driving them to look at houses nowadays, but whenever it comes to being willing to be the first one to follow up and the last one still there following up, that's a big deal. So I'm so excited on day 15 that you guys are here with the high energy, and we have some really special things for you today. So, Brother Leo, let's do some accountability stuff.
Yeah, let's rock and roll. How about Erica? There you go.
Hi,
How you feeling?
I feel awesome. How are
What?
you?
I am so good. The energy is up. We've been on multiple calls today, and the energy kind of just builds up until this call. We just release it all. But what has been the biggest win for you, your biggest takeaways, some things that you've been learning and implementing into your life?
Just do as you guys say. Take action. Don't just attend these Zooms, actually make those calls, do the actionables that you said. I shared on Circle just this morning that the very first week when we were doing calls, one of those leads already had their property under a contract. And yet the building that rapport, following up, just seeing where status was. Well, now the seller's calling me saying that contract expired. And so now we're going in.
That's what I'm
That's
talking.
exciting.
Yeah, super
Sweet.
exciting.
That's amazing. And where is Sterling today?
He's at church camp all week. So
Okay,
yeah,
got it. And then so you're here holding down the grounds,
I am. Yeah.
chilling. I
And
love
he's motivated. He's my little cheerleader before. He said, maybe you can get a contract down while I'm at camp. He has
That's
faith in
amazing.
me.
I love it. We have faith in you guys as well. This is
Thank
awesome.
you.
Sweet. Okay. Let's do another one. Let's go to Bev. Miss Beverly. What has been the biggest takeaway for you? How are you feeling? What's new? I know you have a couple challenges, but you're always getting through the challenges, right?
Excuse me. One of my challenges is that barking dog. Sorry about that. Somebody's walking by. Um, so yes, I had a challenge. I am feeling 100% better. Not 100% better. I should say I'm probably 95% better. We still have a little way to go. I'm making my calls, putting the time in. Got up this morning at 5, back to my normal time that I usually get up, and got the dogs out and exercised, went for a little swim, and I've been making calls. I've been talking to Glenn, my sister-in-law, and my brother. We got a house under contract 2 days ago, I guess. We're waiting actually to sign the contract, but it's being made up by the lawyer right now. We are talking with a couple more sellers. So yeah, we're doing it. We're doing the work, and I'm so proud of them because they started this literally a week ago, and she has called anywhere from 12 to 15 people a day. Not even kidding. So
Amazing.
bravo to them. It's Gordon and Sandra Baker.
Gordon and Sandra, you guys are awesome. And Bev, as always, you are amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, day 15, welcome in. For those of you who are new here, hello. We are here to guide you. We're here to go over the business, bring the energy. As always, in the beginning of our calls, we hold up our beverage. We want you guys to stay hydrated as much as possible. So what do we got here? What do we got going on? Let's see it. Not all of you this time. Yeah. Well, some dry throats, I guess, happen. You know, if you want to get these calls done, flowing smooth, you gotta hydrate. That's what we're doing here. So we got a lot to cover today. Andrew, what is the agenda?
Today, the agenda is while you're teaching about talking to sellers and winning people over, how to talk, negotiate, have conversations, I'm going to be dialing. And we're going to see if we can get some leads on the phone. I have several new leads here. So I'm going to be muted out and dialing. And then the moment somebody answers, I'm going to unmute. And then near the end, as usual, we're going to be taking questions and answers and then announcing what special things we have in store for you tomorrow. So this is exciting. I'm going to pass it off to you, brother. I'm going to start dialing.
Absolutely. One of the biggest things with these calls is those with more confidence do more deals. And confidence is a skill that can be built. Confidence can be built through repetition. That's one of the greatest ways to build confidence, but it's also understanding your ability as a person to connect with the person on the other side. If you're a naturally great listener, amazing. You have like 17 brownie points on you because 99% of people are not good listeners, especially right now. So, what can we learn there? Number one is how can we really dial in and listen to the sellers and almost hold our tongue whenever it is that we want to kind of interrupt them or speak, holding our tongue a little bit because they'll keep giving us more. Let's take this outside of sales for a bit, and we start to realize that that is one of the greatest ways to build relationships.
Dustin? Hello, Dustin? Steven, that was your lead. So it sounded like Dustin answered, but then I didn't hear him on the phone. So I will let you know when we get a hold of Dustin. That's Steven Hope. So way to go.
For those of you coming in, Andrew is doing dials, but as we know, while you're doing dials, there's pieces of time where people aren't answering, you're doing voicemails. So I'm teaching while Andrew's doing his dials. So when we get someone that answers, I can silence, Andrew can go. So the greatest way to build relationships is being a very quality listener. And there's tools and tactics to that because in the initial phases, you can seem like a good listener by just holding your tongue and waiting 3 seconds until the person is completely finished with their sentence before you think about saying another sentence or asking them a question. Same thing in these seller calls. We always hold our tongue, sometimes for 3, 4, 5 seconds before we ask the next question. I like to go on mute because sometimes I'm just too fast and I like to just say something right away. So when I ask the question, I mute myself, I back up, and that also releases my tension because it also shows the power that you have over the phone. These people cannot see you. They don't see your face. They don't see anything.
Hello. Hello. Hey there, Mr. Donald. This is Andrew calling you back. I'm partners with Lawrence. I think he talked to you about your house there on Celeste Drive.
Okay.
You got a quick second?
Yeah, real quick.
Awesome, man. Awesome. So I was looking over the facts here. We're definitely interested in the property. And he mentioned if we could agree on all the details, you might be open to a owner finance or lease option. Is that what I understand?
Uh, yeah, depending on what we agree on.
Of course.
Because I mean, I'm not going into assign over my, stuff through title and everything else like that without getting paid.
Got it. So tell me a little bit more, if you don't mind, Donald, about the property. What is it, a rental property, or is this your personal residence, or what's the story?
Yeah, it's rental. It's rented Section 8. You get $15.50 a month off of it. So I'm not willing to give it away.
Right. Okay. And you're asking, what's your asking price?
Well, I've got offers and stuff of 150.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's definitely worth that.
Okay.
Just put a brand new furnace in there.
All right. So if we was to agree on a price around that 150, and pay all the closing costs, and of course, we're not realtors, so there's no 6% commissions or fees. What would you be looking at as far as terms? What's the least you'd accept as a monthly payment? And since we're responsible for the, taxes, repairs, and insurance and all that.
Well, uh, taxes and insurance is all in the loan.
Okay. About what
And,
is that loan payment currently?
It's a little less than 619.
619. Okay.
Plus there's a utility bill, MSD, and it ranges anywhere from 65 to $89.
Okay. You pay utilities.
That utility I do.
Right. Okay. All right. And how much is left on that mortgage? How much equity you got in the place?
Well, I think I owe somewhere around 87.
87. Okay. So if we was to buy it from you, pay the closing, uh take over the of course maintenance, repairs, the payment, the utilities, and everything, your remaining equity would be, doing the quick math here, your remaining equity would be somewhere around 60 something, give or take. Is that about right?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay. And then what's the longest you'd be willing to give us to pay you that off?
Well, right now I'm looking at ones that are talking about a 3-year.
3. Okay. 3. We normally do a little longer than that, but I can definitely talk that over with my partner. Is there any updating if this tenant was to move out? Is there any updating the property needs, or is it been updated recently, or what's that look like?
Huh. Um, well, it definitely is cosmetic stuff. She's supposed to replace the doors that got holes in it and the hardware that's missing off the doors.
Okay.
I've got an inspection that's scheduled this week or later this week. I double check that.
Okay.
So if I were to kick her out, there'd be flooring, except for the one you can try to see it on Zillow. It's off the kitchen. It's what I call a banger in the family room area. That floor should be good.
Okay. And then
And
go ahead, brother.
the regular cosmetic stuff, paint.
Paint. Okay.
Flooring, whatever type of flooring. The bathroom's all tiled. It's got ceramic tile on the floor. know them with the bathroom. They don't know how to turn a switch off for the exhaust fan.
Mm,
So all the moisture in there messes with wood.
yeah.
So the new wooden cabinet thing I put in there for the toilet when she moved in 4 years ago needs to probably either replace or scrape or paint something.
Well, I'll tell you what you do, Lawrence. Of course, if, you sell us the house, you won't have to worry about this. But we make these real fancy signs that we put above the light switches that says, "Please turn the switch." Put those real technical explanations. It'll save you those new cabinet bills.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. So if we buy the house for the 150s, take over the 619, the maintenance, repairs, taxes, and insurance, the wrinkly cabinets and all the tenants that are currently in there. By the way, are they on month to month or are they on longer?
Well, Section 8 does the ongoing.
Oh, Section 8. I didn't catch that. Forgive me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Section 8 also covers 2 months of rent for repairs.
Mhm.
Tenant causes repairs, damages. Her lease renews every February,
Okay. February.
but
Good.
30-day notice, can get them out.
So if we buy it from you for around that 150, pay the closing, cover the underlying debt until we resell it down the line, because obviously we'd plan on reselling it, package it up probably in a portfolio and reselling it. So if we were willing to put the 3-year balloon on that, and you said around between 65 and 70 cash, it would be coming your way when we resell it. What's the longest you would, or excuse me, what's the timeline you will close on?
Well, it sounds like you want to do um, or like you say, take overpayment. Well, is it my name?
Yeah.
You're talking on the same lines that my lawyer told me not to do this other guy's deal.
Got it. So forgive me, I should have explained that. So what I normally do, my business model with these, especially the Section 8 properties, is I buy them. We close with the real estate attorney and they drop all the paperwork, of course. And we roll up a portfolio of like this, which is normally why we get a minimum of 5 years, but we can probably do it a little sooner than that. But we roll up a portfolio and then we resell them to a fund who wants to hold them for cash flow. And so our objective is to buy it from you, pay a good price, give you what you need out of it. And then we take ownership for that period of a few years until we sell our next portfolio coming up here in the next few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that something that would work for you?
Well, so I would probably, look at doing something like you pay my loan off that I got on there.
Oh, yeah. If we're going to pay cash for the house, we would be at more like, probably a really insulting offer. The only way we'd be able to,
Yeah, I'd see that.
Yeah. So we could probably do
delete your thing till I read on.
Yeah, so we could buy the 150, but we would definitely, it would be a delayed cash sale. We would need time to pay you off. So is that something that you'd still consider, or what's going through your mind about that?
Well, there's too many scams out there to go with things that used to be okay with.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to wind up with you guys on title and turn around the next day and sell it to somebody else, walk off with 130,000, and me sitting there with a mortgage.
I don't.
Property.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. So let me ask you this. My whole objective is, and I've done over 500 this way. And like I said, we're going to close with a real estate attorney. And frankly, I wouldn't want you to close this thing without running it by your real estate attorney to make sure that it's all done in a way that you approve of. But if we was to draw up the paperwork in a way that pleases you and the ownership in that way, obviously we couldn't sell it without paying you off. Would the numbers be something that you would be open to, what we just discussed?
Well, I really prefer 20% down.
Oh,
Man. I know the return message I sent Lawrence was offer 15 or 10%. I told him do 15%.
15,000.
15% down. So it's like 22.5.
Got it. So do you need the cash for something specific, or you just want to make sure we have skin in the game, or what's your mindset around that?
Both.
Got it.
I get 15.50 a month off the property.
Yeah.
And his terms he was shooting my way. Very, very low payments. Cut my income in half with not getting the rent from the property, because I'm sure you probably want the rent from it.
Yeah. Let me do this. Let me put some pencil to paper. I don't think it's going to make financial sense for us to put 30,000 down, but as long as there's a number the property can support that you're open to, I don't think we're far apart from a deal here. So let me reconvene with Lawrence and put a few more numbers down, and either maybe you'll be more flexible on the upfront money, and we could give you a little bit more on the cash flow monthly, or B, maybe we come up a little bit off of my normal zero down and give you some money at upfront and do something less in the middle. So let me reconvene with Lawrence and see what his thoughts are, and then we'll follow back up with you tomorrow sometime. Is that fair?
Okay, so this property's got a lot. Brand new furnace, almost 3-car garage attached. Is that a small house? Yeah, it's a slab, but that's the only downfall. There's room in the master bedroom to add a bathroom to it.
So if we wanted to, this could actually be a 3-bed, 2-bath house.
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
The master bedroom is like 23 by 16 or something like that.
I'm so glad you told me that, because that definitely is something to consider as we're nailing this down. So, okay, well, we're definitely interested. I'm going to reconvene with Lawrence. I've got a meeting I've got to hop on here in 2 minutes. So I need to get ready for that. So forgive me for hopping so soon, but we'll connect tomorrow.
Okay, what's your name again?
My name's Andrew Schlag, and my partner's Lawrence. Yep.
Okay, yeah, just text me, okay?
All right, will do, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Thanks.
Bye for now. Went over my normal 5 to 7 minutes, so now my other one's calling back, Steven. All right. Breakdown of call. Leo, you want to jump in on that, share some insights before I
Yeah, I
share
can do
what
a
I
couple
think?
breakdown. So first of all, we always match the tonality of the seller. If Andrew came in with his usual tone, he'd run right over his head, because like I said in the chat, the other guy's a bit of a turtle. So we got to match that as soon as we go in. We match the tone, we match the speed, makes the other person feel comfortable. That's the first one. The next one is we do a little bit of parroting sometimes. Parroting is basically when someone's saying something, we sometimes match the last 2 or 3 words to get them to say more. Or when we don't have anything necessary to say, we parrot the conversation. So when the seller's talking about the house, talking about the information, we say the last 2 words. You can do that in almost every and I'm about to make a video on this. You can do that in almost any conversation and keep a conversation going forever if you wanted to, by saying the last 2 words that they said.
That's awesome. So I want you to type in the chat if you enjoyed that. Give me a great big yes. If you didn't, don't say anything. Don't hurt my
Right.
feelings. Kidding.
Notice how Andrew was just asking questions and he was very calm in there. And even though there was a couple stutters in there, he was still able to just get to the question and get to the information. Well, so we have about 4 minutes left. We don't have much time for a call, but if you guys want Andrew to do one more call, I know I want him to say one more in the chat.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Say one more in the chat. And we'll get one more.
Darn it, we'll be overtime.
We only got 30 minutes here, but if you guys enough people say one more, we'll do one more.
Peer pressure is real. I guess I'm doing it, brother.
Bruce, okay. If Bruce Franklin said so, we gotta do it. Jerry Owens said so, we gotta make it happen. Okay, let's do one more. Let's see if we can get another one on the phone.
One just called me, so we'll see if he answers. Mr. Dustin.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. Dustin. It's Andrew calling you back. I'm partnered with Steven. How you doing, bud?
Yeah, hey, good yourself?
Good. Did I catch you a good time? You got a quick second?
Yeah.
Good, man. Yeah, I was looking over your house there on Park Avenue, and Steven and I are definitely interested in it. Just want to make sure I have my facts right. You're asking 90?
Yeah, I would like to get that, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. And so tell me a little bit more about the house. It looks like it's all in good shape and it's currently a rental. Is that accurate?
Well, yeah, I guess you could call it a rental. Yeah, I moved. I had a friend that was needing a place before I moved, and, wasn't sure, moving away, whether things would last. It would not like it up here. So I thought, well, I wanted to keep the house. So I just told her, I said, well, you can live here and I'll just charge you what my mortgage is, keep it up, that way if I want to come back, I can come back. I got a place. And it's just getting too much. It's just a pain. And
just letting his tenant cover his mortgage and he's responsible for everything. Crap.
425 miles away.
Motivation.
Something breaks down, something happens. I can't be there, and I just worry about it all the time, something's gonna happen or, and it ain't worth it. And I've been seriously considered putting it up. And then when Steven got a hold of me this weekend, I was like, well, maybe it's a sign.
It's a sign, brother.
It's been a good, little house. It says it's got a back deck on it. It's wrapped halfway around one side of the house. Got the front deck on it too. I put hardwood. Well, I wouldn't say hardwood, but the fake hardwood flooring. Took up the carpet, put it down in the living room, I think 4 years ago. And then here recently, like I said, I had got a quote from Steven to do some work and stuff. We figured out all that stuff. It really wasn't the windows leaking and such. It was just condensation from the house. The vents under it, they had got closed, and then the gutters had filled up, and it was running down over there causing some mold. So we had it all cleaned up, and I had a guy come in, and he refinished the windows and resealed them and all that. I took there's 2 bedrooms on that end there. I took the carpeting out of both of them and just put down some wood look linoleum flooring in those. And then another bedroom, I guess, like I was telling Steven, originally the house was a 2-bed, 1 bath. Well, then he built on that east side. And that's 2 bedrooms over there. So
4 bedrooms.
Technically, to get to the 2 bedrooms to be built on, you kind of have to go through the old bedrooms.
A lot of those old houses have that weird layout.
Right. So it's a full definite 2. And then there's the 3rd bedroom.
This guy's near where I grew up, so I know how to talk his language.
If you had kids.
In the country.
2 kids on that. At the other end, where it's open, it's more of you walk through the kitchen, you walk into what would have been a bedroom then, and then you walk through it and go to the bathroom. So it's more kind of a hall, kind of office.
Okay.
I would say kind of area. So yeah, it's definitely a 2-bedroom. Could be 3. I guess you could be 4.
Yeah.
If you really wanted it to. It's got the Jack and Jill bathroom, the toilet, showers in one room, and then it's got a great big room with the
vanity in it and a great big closet. And then you walk off from it and it's just got one huge closet for the whole house.
Okay.
Off the
Perfect.
side of it, it does have, I was trying to say, they put a new water heater in it. I don't know, probably 4 years ago. So it's got a new water heater. The garage, I love the garage. I mean, it's got a stairs up to it. It's got a loft up in it, partially finished. It's got, that's what I was telling Steven, it's got hardwood floors in it from the old Flora school gym upstairs in it. So that's kind of a neat thing, having the old school floors up there. And like I said, I mean, it's, the garage does have heat. Got some kind of I don't even think I ever used it, but yeah, it's got a furnace in the garage. Like I said, it's got the metal roof. It seems to be good. Other than that, it's been a good little house. I just went and fell in love and moved and hated, like I said, hated to get rid of it. Like I said, now it's just, I'm over it. I want to be done with it.
Absolutely.
Move on with the next chapter. Cause like I said, it just worries you, it's like, there's nothing wrong with the house, but you know how it goes. Everything's fine one day and who knows?
Yeah. Especially when you're dealing with
next.
tenants from across the country, man. I've done that before. That ain't,
Yeah.
that's something else.
It ain't fun, and even though your person that's renting it, it ain't their house. They don't care,
Yeah.
So
let me ask.
it's like, let's unload this sucker.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Let me ask you, if we was to buy it from you, take over that 51 and, we cover maintenance, repairs, taxes, insurance, 476, everything's on us and you're free of it and don't have to worry about any calls day or night. What would be the least amount on top of that you would be looking to get out of your equity, knowing we're not realtors, so there's no 6% commissions and, we would pay all the closing costs with the real estate attorney and all that crap.
So are you saying, because I know Steve was talking about the keeping it in my name, this and that. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. So basically the way we usually do it, so we can pay more money for the property over time for somebody like yourself, who's in a position to net way more by selling it over time, is we'd go ahead and agree on price, buy the house from you, and then we start covering the mortgage payment when you and us agree, and you're free and can just move on. And then we cover that, do what we're going to do with the house until we turn around and make a profit on it, at which point when we resell it, the paperwork's drawn up as such where the mortgage at that time then gets paid off and you get your equity as well.
Right. See, and that, I don't know, but I just honestly, I really want to be done with it just because I'm looking at places up here. I'm going to have a down, down payment for something up here, up front. And that's really what I'm looking just to be done with it.
For sure.
Get clean and clear, my name not on anything, just be done. Because like I said, it worries me and my nerves, and and it's nothing against you guys.
Of course,
I want to be done with, like I said, and looking at houses up here, and that was kind of my main thing, is getting rid of it so that way I didn't have another mortgage when I go to get another loan.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, Dustin.
Because it's going to be harder that way. I'm sure they're going to say, "Oh, but you already got a mortgage out," So I'm sure they're probably not going to like that. And then, like I said, I'm going to need some kind of down payment. So I was kind of, just wanting to do it outright.
Assuming we could draw up the paperwork, our attorney draws up all the paperwork where those other two challenges you mentioned wasn't a problem. Would us being able, instead of, waiting on your money over time, if we could give you some of your equity now, and then the rest later, what would that number look like for you?
Man, I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know.
If you did know, what would it be?
Right. I really don't know. So so how does that work? You just pay me monthly then until, I guess I've never heard of this before.
Yeah. So the way we usually do it, since there's a mortgage on it, who's your mortgage with, by the way?
US.
US. Yeah. So normally we just pay US Bank, directly. And we, of course, like I said, pay the taxes and maintenance, repairs, insurance. Our attorney draws all of that up. So you're free and can move on. Like literally you won't ever need to hear from you. We're available if you decide to call us, but you won't need to hear from us until you get the call that you got the big check, and that's it. And so we pay the bank directly. We take care of everything, and you're free and can just move on from the time we close it to the time, we finish paying you off in full.
So what you're saying, so you go ahead and pay, no, wait, you don't go ahead. You're not paying the house off. You're just pretty much taking over the payments.
Exactly right. Yeah, we pay US Bank every single month.
And then you just pay me
Mm-hmm.
whatever the difference is to the point of what I want to make off of it.
That's correct. So yeah, let's just take your number, and it's a hypothetical. We want to see it, of course, before we buy it. But let's say we agree at 90,000. So we would buy the house from you, go ahead and pay closing. There's no fees, no 6% commission, none of that crap. We're buying it directly from you. And then we cover that underlying payment. And then, we might even be able to work it out to put a little bit of money in your pocket the day we close, although we usually buy with nothing down. Few dollars in your pocket, and then we cover that payment until we give you the remaining of your 40,000 cash in your pocket once we resell it.
Right. I don't know. Well, to think about, Chief.
Absolutely, man. And it's one of those things where if it's a win-win, is the only way we want to do it. So if it goes ahead and relieves you of having to worry about the property, we buy them as is, we close on your timeline. And once we wrap up the paperwork with the real estate attorney, you're free and can move on and don't have to think about it. And if it's something that doesn't work for you, we'll part as friends. That's okay too. But sounds like I definitely know it'd be the smoothest transaction you've ever done in your life, because we've done this a few hundred times over the last decade. So as long as it's a fit for what you're looking to accomplish, then it can be a win-win. But where would you like me to go from here, Dustin?
Oh man, I don't know. It's so much to think about.
Okay. Go ahead.
I know the 90 is probably a good price for it. Would you guys want to look at it first?
For sure. So yeah, if you like, what we're talking about, and we like the house, we'd be ready to move forward once we come see it. But that'd definitely be our next step. So when would be a good time for us to come out and take a peek?
I'd have to get with the girl that lives there and see, man. I'm sure probably anytime, really after 3:30 or so, probably when she's there. But
okay,
I can get with her and I can let you know.
Yeah. So I'm going to let Steven know, and we'll definitely do that either probably later today or tomorrow, one or the other.
Okay.
Whatever's good for you guys. And then assuming we like the place when we see it, what other details would you need from us to make a qualified decision if this is a fit for you?
Well, obviously I got to give her time to get out of there,
Maybe we might close it with her in there if you wanted us to.
Well, I mean, I've got to, well, yeah, I mean, that's fine, but I just, because this was kind of a last minute deal. So, she didn't have another place to go or, anything like that. So I've got to give her,
of course, yeah,
ample time to find her a place. So, we got to make sure that happens. So
for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. But and I guess in other words, so if this is, so you guys really probably aren't interested in just buying it outright.
Our cash offer, we do pay cash for houses, but usually it's houses that are in really rough shape, and we get them for,
right,
an insulting number.
So,
yeah, so I didn't want to insult you with the cash offer. You're definitely going to net way more if you give us that little bit of time to pay you off in full. So.
Right. And the banks really don't have no trouble with you guys doing that.
The last 500 plus I've done has not been a challenge.
And really, even with me being, a first time homeowner and
correct,
all that, like I said, because my insurance, everything's just figured into my mortgage. I just pay my mortgage and I'm done. I don't worry about insurance, nothing.
Correct. Yeah, our team handles everything from there forward. And our real estate attorney closes everything, so it's done right.
So I mean, it's technically so it's still in my name technically then.
The loan is on the property and in your name, and we're responsible for it. So there's what is called a wrap mortgage. So our attorney draws up the paperwork and it says, you know, even though Dustin owes US Bank 51,000, Stephen Company owes
Right.
Dustin 90,000, and then they have what's called a debt wash, and that wraps around the underlying mortgage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Absolutely.
How long do you usually try to get these paid off in? I mean,
You know, I won't make you a promise I can't keep, but our whole business model is after we buy it from you, of course, we want to make a profit. That's our point of doing it. And
Right.
we're going to turn around and find someone who, you know, has been through a divorce or a hospital stay or self-employed and needs another year of tax returns, and get them qualified for a mortgage. And the sooner we can do that, the sooner you get paid, the sooner we make our money.
right. Okay. Well, let me talk to my girl and see when
Okay.
she's going to be home.
Perfect.
And I kind of talked to my brother-in-law about this because he's smarter than I am with this home stuff. Would it be possible maybe this evening if I had him call you and you
Of
explain
course.
this to him?
Yeah, we hop on a
He
three-way
understands-
chat.
He understands it better and we may be able to. But anyways, yeah, I will get a hold of my girl, see what time's a good time to have you guys stop by.
Perfect.
And then I will see if my brother-in-law is around tonight or something. I may have him give you a call or something, and I will message you and let you know regardless.
What's your brother-in-law's name, Dustin?
Greg.
Greg. Awesome. I'll be looking for a call or a text from Greg. If I miss him, as I miss a lot of calls, have him text me and I'll call him right
Okay.
back.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Thanks,
All
Dustin.
right.
Talk to you
Thanks.
soon, brother. Bye for now.
Yep, bye-bye.
All right. That was fun. And you guys, way to go, sticking around, having fun on this call. I know we're a little past time, but I think it was worth it. You guys think it was worth it? Give me a thumbs up if it was worth it. All right, good.
Absolutely.
So our objective, you notice me doing two things different than I would have normally done. Number one, on the first call, you'll notice I got off the phone without wrapping up the deal. I done that for two reasons. Number one, I don't know what Lawrence's objective is with this property, and I don't want to ever make a promise that is inaccurate from what we're actually doing. And number two, the time was going on, and I wanted to be considerate of that because I want to get you guys as much insight from the different calls as possible. Number two, hear me. Normally, I'm just headed for the close and shorten the call. I took longer on both of those, going down the objection rabbit trails, because I wanted you guys to see as many objection answers as possible. I don't actually look at those as objections. It's just a little bit of resistance that we get to play with. So it's lots of fun. Go ahead, Leo, and share any thoughts you have before we take questions and wrap up this beautiful day 15.
Absolutely. Again, those of you who are new, welcome in. This is what we do. We really just make calls. We show what we do. We teach it, and it gives you guys a place to have that accountability. Learn with us for 30 minutes. And biggest thing is that you guys go out. Okay, now you guys heard so many objections. You guys heard the start of the call. You heard the end of the call. You got the education all in between. Go make the phone calls. Go out, find leads, make the phone calls, get some deals. And those of you who sent leads to Andrew, we're going to keep calling those every single day. But keep the energy up. We're here for a reason. You guys are.
Did we give them our wire instructions yet?
We should. Hey, who wants our wire?
This is fun. This is fun, guys. Don't worry. We will be making you an offer and accepting your credit cards in the next few days. So that's coming. Get ready. In the meantime, we want to continue getting your deals called, your deals negotiated. We want you to be getting the freaking money. So what questions do you guys have for Leo or myself before we wrap this up? Let's take like 2 minutes of quick questions and call it a day, because I know we are well over time.
Well, thank you, Andrew. I appreciate your time today. I know it's valuable, and we do have a bunch of questions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save all the questions for the ones we don't get through, and we'll go to them tomorrow. So thank you for all your questions. We'll take a quick question here. First one came from Sharon. Could you please show us your most successful 1 to 3 ads that you have used on Facebook, etc., to get motivated sellers to contact you?
Happy to do so. I'm quite embarrassed. Actually, the best performing Facebook ad to get sellers to contact me was me, 45 pounds heavier, talking against a wall that I look like a hostage in a prison video, I swear, saying that I am interested in buying your house. My point in saying that, while it's true, is there's no science other than be direct with your point. I buy houses cash, any area, any condition, and close on your timeline. That's the whole message. And if you can try that ad, it converts well, even if you look. Maybe that's why it converted, because I look like a prison hostage. I don't know.
All right, we'll take one more here. We got KJ and Latricia asked, do you have a lawyer drop an assignment contract, or can we use the one you shared with us in the circle?
Always have your local attorney review all the paperwork you get from me. It costs me tens of thousands to get it to where it is, and it serves me well. But I'm in Indiana, Kentucky, and well, a few other states. But the point being, you want your local real estate attorney who's closing your deals to tell you that it's good for your state.
All right. And for all the other questions, we're going to be taking them tomorrow. I've got them all saved. So thank you so much for your amazing questions and participation.
That's a good hook. You got to come back tomorrow to get your questions answered. Leo, what are we covering tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we are going over a lot. We are making sure everybody has these skill sets in order to do these calls. It doesn't mean you don't do the calls today. It means you go do the calls and bring some lessons tomorrow. We're making sure everyone has that skill set dialed in, and we're reviewing some deals. It's going to
Your
be
deals.
your deals. We're reviewing your deals. Big, big day. Thank you all so much. Shout out to all of our students who are working with us one-on-one, who are working with us in our group. Everybody's getting deals, everyone's rocking and rolling, and we're excited to work with you guys as well. So, what a beautiful day. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, all of you, for staying on this extra time. And we'll see you tomorrow at noon Pacific sharp.
See you tomorrow. Amazing jam-packed day ahead. Bye for now, guys.